So I wanted to talk about fixed mindsets versus flexible mindsets in relationship. Or another way of looking at it would be optimistic people versus pessimistic people. Or those who are risk takers and those who aren't risk takers. This is what happens in a relationship, and when we choose partners, a lot of times we are not aware of the personality traits or the characteristics of the individual that we choose to be with. We go based on how we feel, based on hormonal reactions. And because we don't know, we make mistakes by deciding to pair up with someone who may be a fantastic person, but is not aligned to you or who you are, what you want. And they're not open to making a switch either. So a lot of times, especially now where we have a world where everybody thinks that their opinion actually is a voice, while everybody's opinion matters. It's so most times your opinion should be just that, your opinion to yourself. But when you get into a relationship with someone who is a fixed mindset versus one who's a growth mindset type person, even a situation like that is okay, because sometimes the relationship is perfect because both parties are able to sort of blend into each other and fill that void of where one or the other would need stability or the other would need freedom or growth to express themselves. But when the relationship is one where someone is at the extreme ends of growth, someone who is willing to lose their life for something that they believe in. You look at a Mandela, Martin Luther King, someone like that. If that person is paired to someone who's on the opposite extreme, who would have grown up sheltered, would have grown up in a very rigid, formal type of structure, one that is not open to trying new things easily or making changes or adapting to something, it becomes very problematic because everyone has elements of fixed mindset in them and elements of growth mindset in them. But when the fixed and growth mindsets are attached to the characteristic or the general outlook of the individual that you are and that you choose, that is when the problem comes in. Because even my own experience, when I look at relationships that I would have had in the past, when I dated people, I would see scenarios where I realized that I was a growth mindset type person, and I've always been a leader in every single thing that I've endeavored to do, or every group I've ever been in. Even though many times I tried not to be that leader, I've always been chosen as the leader because of my personality and my characteristics of who I am as an individual. And I remember in scenarios I know of personally where I've been with people, and no matter what you explain to them with data and hardcore facts, they will not change. Your job is not to change someone in a relationship, but in a relationship, you're supposed to evolve and grow with each other, off of each other. Someone always has to lead, whether you like it or not, whether you accept it or not. This modern world seems to think that is not the case anymore. But if you look at scenarios, you look at gay relationships, you look at every relationship almost, there are just 10% of relationships where there is not a clear indicator of who actually leads that relationship. But in every other scenario, there is someone that leads. So someone always leads. And if that person has been chosen to lead and that person is a growth mindset and the other party is a fixed mindset person, then an extreme ends, then you're talking about chaos. Because every single human being has the ability to choose. And I've always said in some other videos, you're not a tree. If you don't like where you are, change it. And what has amazed me is, for so many people, they are doing the exact same things that they have always been doing, and they expect to have a different result. It's not going to happen like that. And what is even worse is that in many cases I've seen where the individuals would have indicated that the problem was not them in almost every scenario. Because a fixed mindset type person refuses almost to look inwardly, to see what is actually wrong with them. How did they contribute to where that relationship went or did not go? And what tends to happen in relationships where the fixed mindset clashes with the growth mindset type individuals, either the fixed mindset type person shuts off because they think that someone is forcing them to change, when all that individual is trying to do is to get them to look at life differently from how they have been looking at it, and understand that not because you grew up doing something, it means it's right, and it's okay to try something new. And usually that fixed mindset person will only try something new when someone outside of who they're close with says it. A pastor says something, it comes over the news. But individuals who are actually close to them, they will not listen because they see criticism, or they see constructive criticism, as something negative and someone trying to fight them. So they automatically go into defense mood almost all the time, and not even aware of going into that mood. Now, a growth mindset type person also would switch off, because how does a growth mindset type person switch off is when they refuse to say anything anymore, because they don't want to run the risk of everything that they say, it comes across as if they're trying to force the other party to lead, to change, or if they're trying to bring information or knowledge to the other party, and the other party continues over time to reject it, then they feel that they are not worthy of explaining or teaching their partner anything else. And so that person tries to almost say nothing in the relationship, and so he switches off as well. When that happens in a relationship, either one doing it or the other doing it, or both doing it together, that relationship goes dead. It's done. The thing is, what is the only good thing and the solace of this all is that a human being can change. So a fixed mindset person can decide to be a growth mindset type person, and vice versa. It's just an awareness of having something what is called mindsight, understanding, being able to come out of yourself and see how you actually communicate, how you behave, how you respond, and then go back into yourself and make some changes, as scary as it is. Because most times in life, what we actually do, most people don't actually think. They react to culture. They react to environment. They react to nature and nurture, how they were brought up. And they don't actually rethink. Just look at them go around the roundabout, for example. You'll see, or go to the movies, and you will see how many people stand in a line, or the gas station, for another example. They would go in a line simply because there are other vehicles there, and they would not understand that there's another line right next door, or two lines down, that is totally empty, just would have one car in it. Or they would go to the movies, and only when they get to the cashier, then they would realize, oh, I need to order. So they would not even be aware that they need to select what you want before you get to the cashier, And so we don't really think, we just respond, and we are very reactive. And only when you get to the point where you are able to do an analysis and assess yourself inward out is when you'll be moved from being a fixed mindset person. And the minute you start to think and evaluate and say, maybe I have this wrong. Maybe I need to relook this and rethink this. Only then you change. And this is the problem with most relationships, and both men and women. And especially women, because women tend to go into relationship trying to change men most times, but aren't willing to accept that man telling them things that they would need to change as well. This is a fact. This is not me being biased. It's simply information that you can Google and you'll see. And I'm sure you have heard the scenario where men go into relationship hoping that their partners don't change, and women go into relationships hoping that their partners do change. All right. So this is the situation in relationship. These are the things that really hurt relationships. And if you want to have a better scenario, a better turnout in relationships, try to do things differently. Be open to change and listen to the other party and evaluate what they're saying and see if they have a point. All right. So I'm thankful for you looking at this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what your views are and what you want to hear next. Okay. We talk soon. Bye for now.